Alright, what I've done here is basically the same thing I did on paper. From the center of my hole. I need to be less than 5/8, really, but I'm marked just inside of 5/8. So, I mean, it really kind of dictates shape. I can push it. 5/8 is going to be a little too much, I think, but that's what I drew it at. And then just tried to make a relatively decent, smooth curve to meet those three. So now we can go and cut real close to that. Yeah, and I'm super excited. See if we can't make those remotely symmetrical. And that is not. Alright. Pretty good. I'm not super impressed with that thin, pointy head. Our requirements kind of dictated it, so maybe some slight refinement will make me like it more. I mean, I guess it's possible. What have you been looking at all this time? Not what I'm doing. Wow. Regular viewers of the channel will already know just how much I really enjoy this task. But it's time. The only other thing we really need to do before, the neck is pretty much done, is drill and fit the tuners. And, that can happen anytime, really. It's a lot easier to do this before the wings go on. So, we have no opportunity to nick and ding wings with our files and stuff. It's just, life is just easier if we do it this way. This so far isn't being easier. But that kind of is. And it's not going anywhere. You dirty bastard. Is it even rotating? Alright, never mind. I'm dumb. Just throw that anywhere. Super graceful. You would think one day I would get around to just putting a handle on that or something, but you would be wrong. Well, it works. Just because you look stupid doing it. I know 2's not going to be enough. We're going to need more, but to be continued. From the last one, ice cream sandwich, we had just enough left for 3 frets down here. So I went ahead and chopped them to wings. I almost always forget to get the ends. It's such a waste of wire. And I want to murder that fly. Very badly. Would that knock off? I place it to where I can feel with my finger that there's a little bit of overhang on this side, just to make sure you don't cut it too short. I hate wasting stuff, but you want to cut it just a little long, just a little. The crimper does a fairly clean job, but it's not perfect. So I wouldn't want to cut it flush with the edge. Then you got nothing, no room to clean up. Alright, right now, I'm just getting the frets ready. Before we can actually start fretting, there are a couple things we need to do. I need to remember to chamfer our slots. And we need to check the flatness of the board one last time. The tang does need to be a little bit shorter than our slot because it's going to flatten out and spread a little. And I don't even want it really digging into the binding, much less pushing it. So this, I think, is one of StewMac's tools that's pretty much indispensable. At least it is for me. Anyway, just 22 more to go. Alright, I just checked our flatness, and I mean, it couldn't be any flatter. It's, yeah. Now, I never think about this until we get to this stage. It would, no doubt, be easier to do before binding. I'd have to think about whether or not that could fit into process. Because, you know, we usually do have to do some sanding on the neck after, fretboard, after binding. However, it's not hard to get a little bit of chamfer on here and watch the backlighting and just not dig into the binding. And even if you do just a tiny bit, the fret end's going to cover that up anyway, but I try real hard not to. Let the fun begin. Looks pretty well seated. To this day, I still have trouble and have to be real careful not to let the hammer tilt and put dings in the fretboard. It's surprisingly easy to do. Partly because it's a tedious task. Well, everything about fretting is a tedious task. I tend to do a few and then stop and take a little break and get most of them. Well, what I've done so far, real close to flush. No bevel yet, just bevel everybody at once. Everything I'm telling you, I've told you 1,000 times. Okay, like 18 times. Now we can bevel, just a little. I don't have a jig thingy, I don't worry about 30 degrees. Just a little. Just a little so that, you know, you can see that you've done part of the work on rounding that end off. If that makes sense. too much angle, then you can't play the damn thing because you keep sliding off. That's probably good enough. Now I'm going to wait for level and polish and all that crap for later down the road. Save that for the home stretch. Alrighty then. Now, in the immortal words of Donkey, let's do that again. Ugh. Thanks for joining me. If you like what we're doing, if you're digging it, like and subscribe. Catch you next time.